Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at the McFarlane Spawn Haunt action figure. Haunt is part of the third assortment of Spawn figures from McFarlane Spawn line. I got this guy at a GameStop store. I'd seen him online at several places, but nowhere is actually delivering, at least not at retail. Walmart claims to have him in stock, but it's full of lies. I tried to buy him there, and they immediately sent me a delay email. Well, here he is in hand. So let's go and check out the packaging. As you can see at the top, ages 14 plus. This is not a toy. I always think it's hilarious when McFarlane puts on stuff. And right across the way, McFarlane Toys. Their Spawn line, and this is Haunt. Here he is in the package. He has a ton of different effects, alternate hands, and just a badass looking figure. There's also a display stand back there. One side of the package, here's Haunt from the comics. Other side, Spawn. At the bottom, a bunch of credits, and GameStop put their own barcode on top of the original barcode. And on the back side, here he is, looking pretty cool. So no further ado, let's open him up. Alright, now that we have this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He does come with a display stand, 2 alternate hands, totaling 4 interchangeable hands, and then he's got some other pieces of his suit. His suit is kind of like the Venom symbiote. It can make different shapes, tentacles, etc. That's what those pieces are. But before we take a look at the accessories, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is Haunt. He had his own comic series for a little while, and he's been a supporting character in the Spawn comics. His real name is Kurt Kilgore, but one to argue it's also Daniel Kilgore. The two of them are brothers, and they hate each other for a long time. Daniel Kilgore was a priest. Kurt Kilgore was a CIA agent. He got killed and ended up haunting his brother. The two of them merged, becoming Haunt. So let's take a look at him. This guy looks really cool. His face, he's got these fangs, mouth open. It's part of his suit. It looks like a mask there. Eyes are white. You can see the texturing all over there. Very, very nicely done. As you go further down, texture of his suit is just phenomenal. It's all over. He's got this little spiral on his chest. His suit, it looks like it's alive, and that's sort of an accurate description. You can see these sort of tentacle type things all over him. They're going to be moving around. Fingers, very pointed. More tentacles around his legs. The suit's black, and then it transitions into gray and almost into white here. Just the texturing is just phenomenal on this guy. I think he looks great. Whoever sculpted him did a fantastic job. And then, just a closer look at his face and head sculpt. He looks like a villain, but that's not exactly his role. And here's the figure broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's take a look at his accessories, and let's start off with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand. Typical McFarlane stand. Black perfect circle. Says Spawn on the bottom. He's got one peg for the pegals on his feet. It's very thin, very basic. Now let's take a look at his hands. He's got a total of 4 of them. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are his more normal hands, although I wouldn't exactly describe them as normal. And here's his next pair of hands. These are a little bit more exaggerated. His suit's doing his thing. It's got little tentacle type things around him. The fingers are way more outstretched. And now for his attachment. Sort of a long tentacle looking thing. Should wrap around his hand and be an extension of his suit. Paint, sculpt, both pretty nice. Here's Haunt, holding the accessory. Here's his other accessory. It's sort of some more of those tentacle type things coming out of the ground. I want to say it's part of his symbiont, but that's not the right word. Not sure what exactly to refer to his suit. The sculpting is the same as his arm tentacle. Flat on the bottom. Kind of curved on the other side. You can stand inside of there. Here's Haunt, standing behind this accessory. This is about the best you're going to get of a Haunt with both of his accessories, showing him using his powers. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, he's standing at about 7 inches tall, which you can translate to about 18 centimeters. Now let's check out his articulation. Starting with his head here, of course, it can rotate from side to side. Mine feels very tight. Look up and down, about that far, not much up, but down pretty good. Can't tilt his head from one side to the other, giving him a good amount of personality. Shoulders, ball joint, goes out a little more than 90 degrees, up, down, around, all that good stuff. He's got this butterfly joint between his shoulder and chest area, increasing the range of motion. And I will point out, it's all done to that white color, so it's not going to look right in his armpit area, really no matter what. He's got a bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows. His wrists can rotate, and it's going to be hinged. And I'll tell you, it's on the new upgraded wrist joints. Not those old ball joints that look bad. This is a lot more seamless. It can rotate, no problem. You can rotate at the base. And then when it goes in and out, it's like 2 separate pieces here. Very well done. Love these new joints that they're adding to the McFarlane figures. Torso here, he's got a ball joint. Rotate around, go forward and back. Another ball joint in his waist. Rotate around, forward and back. Giving him pretty good range of motion. He has a little bit of a gap sort of above his butt. Looks a little rough there, but better on the back than the front. Legs, pretty much complete as a splits. Not a ball joint, but a similar type concept. Rotation, it's a little bit. Legs go forward about that far. Back, not much. Double jointed knees. Then his ankles here, and those are also done the new style, not those ugly ball joints. Forward, back, rotate, tilt, rock. You can hear how tight mine is. And then to articulation. Here's Haunt, getting ready to pull you toward him with that tentacle thing. Now let's check him out, next to some other action figures, starting off with some other McFarlane Spawn figures. Here he is, next to the Series 3 Spawn. This is the deluxe Spawn that came with a throne. 2 anti-heroes in the Image universe. And then, next to the rest of the figures I have from Series 3, we've got Overt Kill, Haunt, Spawn, the Clown, Bloody Variation, and Ninja Spawn. I'm missing the Series 3 version of Raven Spawn, and the GameStop Gunslinger Spawn with the horse. And I don't actually believe we've seen any of the figures from Series 4 yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. And here he is, next to the Series 2 Spawn figures. Cygor, Gunslinger Spawn with a Gatling gun, Dark Redeemer, She-Spawn, and Soul Crusher. Then, with the Series 1 McFarlane Spawn figures, we've got Violator, Gunslinger Spawn with a shotgun, Redeemer, the Platinum Chase variant, Redeemer, the standard version, Raven Spawn, Clown, and the bloody version of the Violator. I am missing the Kickstarter Spawn, and that sucks, but it is what it is. Here he is, with all 3 different versions of the Mandarin Spawn. Here's Haunt, next to the Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn. Arguably my favorite Spawn figure they've made. And then, next to all the variations of the Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn, here's Haunt, next to some older McFarlane Spawn figures. We've got Al Simmons, Terry, the Clown in a straitjacket, and then a couple figures of Wanda. These are in the 7-inch scale, and they fit in pretty nicely with the new Spawn figures. Then, with some more older McFarlane Spawn figures, these are a little bit of a smaller scale, kind of like 5 or 6 inch. We have Sam and Twitch, and then the Clown. I really hope they give us a new, updated version of Sam and Twitch. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, to see how he fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane figure, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work with smaller. But first, we're going to check him out with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. Then, next to some more McFarlane Toys, these are from different various video game properties. And now, with some Jack-specific wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some DST, or Diamond Select toys. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here, with some NECA figures. Then, with some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, next to some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. And here he is, next to some Mezco 112 collective figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here, with some Magfix figures. Then, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. Overall, it's a very nice figure. This is the first time Haunt has gotten an action figure release in any way, shape, or form. His accessories are pretty cool. The sculpt and paint job are excellent. Really appreciate the texturing of his suit. The articulation is everything you'd expect from a McFarlane DC Multiverse figure. And I also really appreciate the new wrist and ankle joints. They look a lot better, and they function just about the same. If I were to rate this guy, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. I'm really enjoying this guy. It's a very nice figure. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.